Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Ding shoo bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
And the shot rang out, bang!
Hot dog!
Don't hesitate! It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow!
Well, hey, howdy, folks.
And
Well,
howdy,
welcome,
Ralph.
welcome to Horses Sing None of It.
Well,
My
hello.
name is Ralph Litwin, and we have with us today the Juggernaut String Band,
All 5 of us.
Wait a minute.
which is
We forgot some.
Peter Taney and Janet Bregman
Bregman
Tawney. Almost got it, spelled Taney. Tawney.
Well, that's okay. It's just to make life hard for you, Ralph.
And Juggernaut, doesn't that mean like out of control?
It means
That's
large, unstoppable forces of nature, totally out of control, bearing down on you while you're tied to the track.
So that's a little preview of what the show could be like.
I see. I got that distinct impression already. So what you guys been up to?
Well, spending a lot of time in our car.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting, I feel like sometimes I need to change my car like I change my clothes. You know, it's like open the door and, oh, get some deodorant. Going down to Charlottesville and back and up to the Boston for the Folk Music and Dance Alliance. Met you up there.
Yep.
Played some good tunes, yeah.
And I should mention that I first met Peter at the World Game Institute when they opened their new facility.
Right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
And
The
we
open house.
suddenly discovered to our amazement we're both banjo players.
Not only
What
that,
are we doing there?
not only that, but we both have an eclectic taste in banjo music and banjo styles.
Not only that, but when I close my eyes and listen to your tape, I could swear that's Peter playing. And I've never met any other banjo player like that.
And I'm kind of hard to please when it comes to folk music, but your tape is one of the few folk tapes that I carry around with me in my pack.
Oh,
I got to get another one. It's the case is cracked and the tape's coming out of the cassette, and it's, you know, it's got bubble gum stuck to it.
No, it doesn't.
Well, what kind of music you're going to give us now?
Well, I'm going to change instruments because I've got another kind of banjo.
I thought we were going to do Medicine Dog.
Oh, that's right. A Request from Ralph.
Yeah, I love
That's
this tune. This is the name of your first tape?
Yep. Well, no, that's that's actually our third record, our second full-length album, and it's something we got put out in about 1990, and this is the title cut, and it's a story. You know, when I was first playing in square dance bands, they play this one tune for a square dance. I'm just gotta get a little bit better tuned up here. That melody would pop up in the middle of a square dance and say, no, wait a minute, we're playing square dance music. What's Little Egypt doing in the middle of a square dance tune? And people told me, well, now this is Bonaparte's Retreat, and Bonaparte's Retreat was not only a square dance tune, but goes back to the old days of the medicine shows. And that's the dancing girl part, because a medicine show had to have some sort of a novelty act or something just a little different, and they quite often had a dancing girl doing whatever version of the Dance of the Seven Veils they could get away with in whatever rural area they happened to be in. And it kind of worked on my mind a little bit, and I wanted to write a song about the old days of the medicine show, and so that seemed like a good tune to build it on. And we added pieces of other tunes and added some characters. So along with, we've also got the character of the singing dog, and the character of the little boy that runs away to see the medicine show, and what happens. And we call it Medicine Dog. Medicine wagons wound their way by bank of fog and the light of moon. Set the stage by the ballroom door to catch their spell with a gypsy tune. And the guitar whined, the people gathered, readily to trip the light fantastic. All eyes were glued to the jewel in her navel while the medicine dog hit a high. So, hey, gather good people if you want to hear the praises of a miracle medicine here. It's good for the stutters, yours of the grip, or anything that ails you. Rub it on the outside, the cast horse peel corns, pour it down the inside, to put a sparkle in your eye, rose in your cheek, shine your hair, mine in your pocket. Said, child, don't you dare. Daddy just smiled and turned away. Called Uncle Dan on his way to the square. Pushed my way to the edge of the stage. And the guitar whined, the people gathered. Little Egypt tripped the light fantastic. All eyes were glued to the jewel in her navel while the medicine dog hit a high. Hey, step it up and try, give it a try, a little snort. You know you can't go wrong at the medicine show. Do yourself a favor, buy a little bottle of the wonderful elixir. Ward off bad breath, sorghum's hives, sunburn, bums rush, rubber checks, diaper rash, heartburn, bad deals, midlife slump. How the man can do without it? They'll sleep it off. I heard them say, maybe get away, but a little too slow for the tarred feathers of the passio. And the dust clouds rolled, the people gathered, the tarred bubbled and the feathers fluttered. Little Egypt rode out of town on a rail while the medicine dog hit a high. Hey, gather good people, friends and neighbors, rid our town of this lawless stuff. This untested, infested belly wash, which it ain't no good for nothing. Oh, you know it's a scandal. There ought to be a law. Pick it out, stamp it out, throw it down the mountainside. This will be the last time we got took by gypsy traveling flim flam. showing up in smoke. I hit the road with the medicine dog ball. Bill Burlicue minstrel show. Late that year we played them all. And the guitar whined, the curtain parted. Billy just shook the light fantastic. All eyes were glued to the jewel in her navel while the medicine dog hit a high. Said, hey. Ladies and gentlemen, your kindest attention. Put out your cigars, showtime is coming. Acrobats and alley cats, Ziegfeld and Duke, entertain ya. 40, count 'em 40 great performers and ones and twos by threes and scores. At the final encore, don't forget your souvenirs, hot dog, sugar baby.
Hey! All right. Love that tune.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ralph.
Yeah, man. And that is available from
Us.
Yes.
and the address and telephone number? Or
Well, the phone number will run with this show.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
610
Yes.
284 1165 if you want to find out where to get the Medicine Dog album or get bookings for Juggernaut String Band. Or
And if you get our faithful electronic robot servant in the nature of our answering machine, just leave your name and address and your request.
All right. Well, what else we got lined
Well,
up
I've
here?
got this other kind of banjo because I've been real interested in the African roots of the American banjo. And so I got this guy to make me this special little banjo I have right here. I'm going to pick this up over here. This little baby right here. It's got a gourd for the body. The way they used to make them in Africa was with a gourd and a goat skin. And when they came to this country, they put a board on instead of a stick for a neck, and they found a busted fiddle and put the fiddle pegs on, even carved the top to look like the fiddle peg head. And I wrote a song to go with this, because this would go back to about 1830 or so, this style of banjo.
The song is actually the title song to a show Peter's been writing. And the show takes place in North Carolina in the mid-1800s, 1834?
1838.
38. And it takes place at a time when there was a real mixing of Cherokee, African, and European cultures. And the show examines all that mixing, especially musically.
You can help us
Cool.
out. You can help us by singing along on the name of the girl is Crow Jane. You sing like, Crow Jane. We get that part.
All right.
Okay. Some folks say she's Daniel Boone's daughter, living in the woods at the edge of town, helping her mom make Indian medicine. Pioneer people got the doctor round, and every day you can hear 'em say, Crow Jane. Listen to the forest, Crow Jane. Tell her everything it knows, Crow Jane. She'll find what you're missing, Crow Jane. When she's talking to the crows, Crow Jane. Jane's daddy was a man of the mountains, swim a big river and live off the land. He was out hunting when the soldiers came marching. Jane was torn from the Indian band and never heard again from the man named Dan. Crow Jane misses her daddy. Crow Jane lost her tribe. Crow Jane, she's gonna find him. Crow Jane, she knows her life. Crow Jane, come on now, shout it with me now. Crow Jane, come on now, shout it with me. Crow Jane, come on now, one more time. Crow Jane. Jane learned a lot, taking care of Mama. Her teachers were the birds and the woods and the land. Talking to the crows to learn their secrets. Listening for news of the man named Dan and the mountain hideaway of the Indian band. Crow Jane misses her daddy. Crow Jane lost her tribe. Crow Jane, she's gonna find him. Crow Jane, she knows her life. Crow Jane, come on now, shout it with me. Crow Jane, come on now, shout it with me. Crow Jane, come on now, one more time. Crow Jane.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes on from there with a lot of storytelling and what we call hand rhythm challenges, so that people aren't told anything ahead of time for the show, But I wanted to design something where they could learn the sing-alongs. Like that is you could pick that right up without being told what to do. I tell them when we start, you're going to be my chorus throughout. Just follow me. And then we just go without really saying what's going to happen. And they right away start, they see me doing hands, they try to do it. It's obvious where the refrains are and things throughout the piece. So it's a real active piece.
For all ages.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, I figured, we play a lot for children's audiences, and I wanted to write something for them, especially for that market. But I also wanted to write something that would be really satisfying and with some meat to it for the adults who have to bring the kids and hang out with them, and they're bored to tears by a lot of children's music. And this has a sort of a message and a piece of history, and we get a lot of adults who just want to sit around and talk afterwards because it stirs up a lot of thought and a lot of, they have a lot of questions about the history of that time because it's a little known, period of our history during Andrew Jackson's presidency. There's a lot to talk about. We did a lot of research on it. Had to do a lot of reading to get the setting right and get the characters accurate, things like that.
Yeah. There's an old Sonny Terry tune, Crow Jane.
Well, that's where I got the name originally because I'd heard it around, the blues singers. Crow Jane, what makes your head so hard?
You realize, baby, you're gonna dig down and die.
Well, originally it was I just used that name and that melody to write a song that was totally unrelated to the story, and then realized it's such a good melody and the name was so evocative that I changed the words completely and took it on into this whole historic thing. So it actually started out closer to the traditional Crow Jane blues.
Cool. There's a question I would like to ask of people who come on the show, which is, what was the original, and you can answer individually, what was the original thing that got you hooked into being a musician and wanting to be a performer?
Should I leave while you answer this?
Well, one is the hours.
Good hours.
Right, yeah.
Not
5
really.
hours of sleep a night, thanks.
No, not really. We were at a teacher's meeting at 8 o'clock before an assembly this morning, and now it's probably close to 10 at night, so the hours are not 9 to 5 anyway. I think I decided to play the fiddle when I walked into an area by the Smithsonian, and the Balfa Frares were playing, and everybody was just into the power of that instrument and sound, and it was so exciting. I went home and found a fiddle and started playing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think for me it was a combination of the fact that my dad played and his mother played harmonica, and there was a lot of sort of back porch music in the family. That plus those ads in the back of the comics, be the life of the party in 7 days. It was like, that kind of egged me on a little bit.
Also girls. He wanted to impress girls.
Well, I mean, I started out listening to the Dixieland banjo and the beer commercials in the 50s. But when I found out all the pretty girls were hanging around Washington Square Park and the folk scene, I was like, I'll play folk music. So.
Cool. So, what else you gonna sing for us?
Well, Janet was just talking about her inspiration for the fiddle being from the Balfa Frares, so we're gonna do a Cajun tune.
Great.
This is one I've heard on old Balfa Frares records, but I think the version we got was actually from Beau Soleil, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
Michael
Michael
Doucette.
Doucette.
It's called Parlez nous à boire. Talk to me about drinking. Forget your married ways.
Most Cajun tunes are about drinking,
Women.
breaking up, or getting ready to break up, or the early stages being making up, or does that go in that order? Or, and this one, and food.
Food.
And this one's about all of those. So, Parlez nous à boire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, parlez-nous à boire, non pas de mariage, toujours on regrettera nos jolis temps passés. Si que tu te maries avec une jolie fille, t'es dans le grand danger, faudra cela te la voler. Come talk to me of drinking, forget your married ways. Just tie that knot and you will find you'll miss the good old days. Find a pretty girl, take her for your wife. You're worried that you lose her the rest of your life. Fais pas ça. Yeah. mariage, toujours on regrettera nos jolis temps passés. Si tu te maries avec une vilaine fille, le golden rond dont je ferai, tu fais ta vie avec. Come talk to me of drinking, forget your married ways. Just tie that knot and you will find you'll miss the good old days. Yes, find an ugly girl, take her for your wife. You worry that you'll keep her the rest of your life. Oh! Oh, parlez-nous au bois, non pas de mariage, toujours on regrettera nos jolis temps passés. Si tu te maries avec une fille bien pauvre, take all the grown dont je ferai travailler toute ta vie. Come talk to me of drinking, forget your married ways. Just tie that knot and you will find you'll miss the good old days. If you want to wed a girl who's very poor, your troubles they will double till they drag you to the floor. Ah! Oh, parlez-nous au bois, non pas de mariage, toujours on regrettera nos jolis temps passés. Oh, parlez-nous au bois, non pas de mariage, toujours on regrettera nos jolis temps passés.
Hey!
Hey! That one doesn't have the E on the end. It's just, that's kind of the downtrodden. Hey!
Cool. You worn out now?
Nah, we're just getting warmed up.
Just getting warmed up. Yeah. Well, just as we're getting warmed up, we're almost starting to run out of time now. We've got about 5 minutes left. So if you want to talk about something for 2 minutes or play a quick tune before we launch into our jam session.
Well, we could tell you the story of our jam session tune.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a true story.
Except you weren't there.
I wasn't there, so he'll have to tell it.
Right. Janet wasn't there because she was 8 months pregnant.
Something like that.
8 months pregnant with our daughter, and it was me and the. It was me and the guitar player and the bass player in our band. We also have a guitar player and bass player when the budget allows, and it's the same guys for the last 8 years, but they just don't come that often. And we were driving to a gig up in the Scranton area on a real cold night in January in the guitar player's large, solid, American-built station wagon, affectionately dubbed the Lead Sled. And we were run off the road, and his driving and the solidity of the car saved us as we sledded down the median strip towards oblivion. So the tune is called Lead Sleddin'. True story.
And it's actually lucky I wasn't there because I would have had the baby on the spot, I'm sure. So that would have been interesting.
Had the baby amid the broken glass and crud in the median strip.
So we should thank everybody for tuning in to Horses Sing None of It, and our trusty volunteers who are here every week contributing their time and talents to put on this show. And thank you, Janet and PETA, the Juggernaut String Band, the wild, out of control event of nature, bearing down on you while you're tied on the tracks. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you
Real
for having
fun.
us. Thank you for having us.
Just seemed
Thanks for
to
having us, Ralph.
go like that.
Yeah. All right, you're going to jam in this one?
I think so.
On the
Play a little harmonica.
Good.
All right, Lead Sled. Late for the gig and there's trouble up ahead. Guitar Joe was driving and he turned around and said, this detour's getting longer and we're further from our goal. We'll keep the party waiting and we're really in the hole. We're lead sledding, we're lead sledding, lead sleds whining at Detroit line. Hold on, lead sledding. Come on, take it round here. finally back on track. 1,000 pounds of instruments and speakers at our back. A joker in a Chevy comes a barging into our lane. We're off the road and hanging on, heading down the drain. We're lead sledding now. We're lead sledding now. Dodging rocks and broken cinder blocks, hubcaps popping, hold on. Lead sledding. Watch out now. Joe, he held her steady for 100 yards or more. With nerves of steel, he pulled us through that rough and rocky shore. And when we hit the stage that night, we put on quite a show. I'd ride through hell as long as I could ride with Guitar Joe. We're lead sledding now. We're lead sledding now. Dodging rocks and broken cinder blocks, hubcaps popping, hold on, lead sledding. Let's take it on home, come on now.
You can win this swell set of recordings by artists who have appeared on Horses Sing None of It, simply by sending your name, address, and telephone number to me, Ralph Litwin. Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street in Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. You can win recordings by the amazing, incredible Liza DiSavino, Dennis Dougherty, Margot Hennebach, Juggernaut String Band, Dave Kleiner, Ansel Matthews, Kathy Moser, Patrick Regan, Elaine Silver, New Jersey Songwriters Circle, and these two albums by me, Ralph Litwin. To win, send your name, address, and telephone number to Ralph Litwin, Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. Ah-ha!